They were the greatest structures humanity ever built, towering over civilizations, housing the secrets of gods and kings. And then in fire, in war, in silence, they were gone. What if you could walk through them again? Today, for the first time, AI allows us to step back inside 10 of the most breathtaking buildings ever erased from this earth. Stay until number 1, because that one will genuinely haunt you. Across every continent and every era, human beings have done something extraordinary. They have taken raw stone, raw timber, raw ambition, and built monuments so magnificent they defied logic. Structures so vast and so beautiful that even their ruins are still considered wonders. But what did they look like when they were alive? Today, we journey through time. We will walk the halls of palaces that burned. We will stand inside libraries that once held the knowledge of the ancient world. We will witness cities so advanced that their destruction changed history itself. These are not myths. These are real places, real buildings, real stories. And for most of human history, they were completely lost. Until now. Egypt, 48 BC. Imagine a building so important that its destruction may have set humanity back centuries. This was the Great Library of Alexandria. At its peak, it held an estimated 700,000 scrolls, the collected knowledge of the ancient world. Works of philosophy, astronomy, mathematics, medicine, engineering, knowledge gathered from Greece, Egypt, India, Persia. Scholars lived and worked within its halls. Oil lamps flickered against endless shelves of papyrus. Debates echoed through marble corridors. It did not vanish in a single night. Part of it burned during Julius Caesar's campaign in Alexandria. Other parts were lost slowly through political upheaval, religious conflict, and neglect. And when the last scrolls turned to dust, humanity forgot things it would not rediscover for over 1,000 years. What we lost there, we may never fully know. Mesopotamia, around 600 BC, the only wonder of the ancient world whose existence is still debated. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon were described as a mountain of greenery rising from flat desert land. Terraced gardens stacked high above the Euphrates River, overflowing with trees, vines, and flowers. Ancient writers claimed King Nebuchadnezzar II built them for his queen, who longed for the green hills of her homeland. So he created a living mountain. They were said to rise nearly 75 feet into the air, irrigated by an advanced water system lifting river water upward through hidden mechanisms. And yet no confirmed archaeological remains have ever been found. Some scholars believe they stood not in Babylon, but in Nineveh. Others believe floods and earthquakes erased them completely. If they existed, they were one of the most beautiful engineering feats of the ancient world. And if they did not, they remain history's most powerful illusion. Persia, 518 BC. Persepolis was the ceremonial capital of the Achaemenid Empire, once the largest empire on earth. Its grand staircases were carved with reliefs of delegates from across 23 nations, bringing tribute to the Persian king. Gold and lapis lazuli gleamed beneath cedarwood roofs. The hall of 100 columns alone covered an area larger than a modern football field. It took 60 years to build. In 330 BC, Alexander the Great burned it. Some say it was revenge for Persia's earlier invasion of Greece. Others claim it was a drunken decision. Whatever the reason, in a single night of fire, decades of construction and centuries of imperial power were reduced to blackened stone. Today, the columns still stand in Iran, silent reminders of a throne that once ruled half the known world. Mexico, 1500 AD. When Hernan Cortés first saw Tenochtitlan, he could hardly believe it was real. An island city rising from a vast lake, connected to the mainland by massive causeways, filled with canals and markets and towering pyramids painted in brilliant red and white. At its height, it held over 200,000 people, larger than most European cities of the time. It had aqueducts supplying fresh water, waste management systems, floating agricultural fields called chinampas, feeding the population with surplus crops. Then came the siege. After 75 brutal days of fighting, disease, and starvation, the city fell. The temples were dismantled. The canals filled in. A new city, Mexico City, was built on top of its ruins. Today, beneath the streets and subways of modern Mexico City, fragments of Tenochtitlan still sleep. London, 1,851. Unlike the others, this loss happened in modern memory. The Crystal Palace was a marvel of the industrial age, a vast cathedral of glass and iron built for the Great Exhibition of 1,851. Constructed in just 9 months using prefabricated parts, it stretched over 560 meters in length. Nearly 1 million square feet of glass shimmered in the sun. 6 million visitors passed through its halls. Queen Victoria herself returned dozens of times. After the exhibition, it was relocated to South London and became a cultural landmark for decades. Then, in 1936, a fire broke out. Within hours, the glass palace collapsed into a furnace of twisted iron and flame. Today, only the park remains. A revolutionary building that once symbolized the future, gone in a single night. Beijing, 1,860. The old summer palace Yuan Ming Yuan was known as the Garden of Gardens. Built over 150 years by Qing emperors, it covered more than 350 hectares. It was not one palace, but hundreds surrounded by lakes, artificial hills, temples, libraries, and European-style fountains. It housed priceless works of art, ancient manuscripts, jade sculptures, silk tapestries. In 1860, during the Second Opium War, British and French forces looted and burned it. For 3 days, thousands of soldiers stripped it bare. Then they set it ablaze. A century and a half of construction vanished in 72 hours. The ruins remain in Beijing today, preserved as a reminder of what was lost. Ephesus, 550 BC. The Temple of Artemis was once considered the greatest wonder of the ancient world. It stood on 127 marble columns, each nearly 18 meters tall. Larger than many modern cathedrals, it was not only a temple, but also a marketplace, a bank, and a sanctuary. In 356 BC, a man named Herostratus set it on fire. He did it for one reason: to be remembered. Authorities tried to erase his name from history. They banned anyone from speaking it. But the story survived. The temple did not. Today, only a single column stands in the marshy field where it once rose like a marble mountain. Mesopotamia, 2100 BC. The great ziggurat of Ur was built more than 4,000 years ago by King Ur-Nammu, a massive stepped pyramid rising from the flat plains of what is now Iraq. At its summit stood a temple dedicated to the moon god Nana. For the Sumerians, this was a bridge between heaven and earth. Religious ceremonies, royal rituals, offerings to the gods all centered on its summit. Though partially rebuilt in later centuries, its upper temple has long since vanished. What remains is only a fraction of what once towered toward the sky. Yucatan Jungle, 700 AD. Today, Palenque appears as gray stone ruins swallowed by green jungle. But in its prime, it was a vibrant city painted in red, blue, and white plaster. Its palace complex held courtyards, steam baths, administrative halls, and royal chambers. Deep within the Temple of the Inscriptions lay the tomb of King Pakal the Great, sealed for over 1,000 years before its discovery in 1952. His jade mask and ornaments were found almost perfectly preserved. Palenque was not destroyed by conquest. The jungle simply reclaimed it, slowly, patiently, completely. Constantinople, 500 AD. For nearly 1,000 years, the Hippodrome was the beating heart of an empire, an enormous chariot racing arena capable of holding over 100,000 spectators. Emperors addressed their citizens here. Political factions clashed here. Riots erupted here. The central spine of the racetrack displayed treasures from across the ancient world: the serpent column from Greece, an obelisk from Egypt, magnificent bronze statues. In 532 AD, during the Nika riots, tens of thousands were killed in its stands. In 1204, the Fourth Crusade looted it. Statues were melted down. The famous bronze horses were carried away to Venice. When the Ottoman Empire conquered the city in 1453, the Hippodrome gradually faded into a public square. Today, visitors walk through Sultanahmet Square in Istanbul, often unaware they stand inside what was once the greatest arena on earth. The monuments remain. The roar of the crowd does not. 10 buildings, 10 civilizations, 10 different reasons for destruction: fire, war, greed, neglect, time. And yet, even in ruins, these structures refuse to disappear completely. Fragments survived. Accounts survived. Memory survived. We cannot rebuild what was lost, but we can remember it. And perhaps, by remembering, we become more careful with the wonders that still stand today. Because somewhere in the world right now there is a building, future generations will mourn the way we mourn these. The question is, will we protect it? Until next time, the past is never truly gone. It is simply waiting to be found.